Marcus Morris might be that end of the year buyout signing that could be working out. Because we always know that the buyout guys are hit or miss because they're bought out for a reason. I'm not trying to disparage anybody. I'm just saying, typically there's a reason why guys get bought out. But Marcus Morris, he was basically a cap casualty due to being used as salary filler in trade. And he's shown he still has stuff, left in the tank this season. So for me, when we got to see him tonight in a game where it was Jared Allen, Karis LeVert, Darius Garland, George Niang, and Isaac Okoro as the starting lineup due to injuries. You had Sam Merrill, Marcus Morris, and Tristan Thompson as the main guys off the bench. It was great to see Marcus, who is on a 10-day contract, the 34-year-old, come out, go 5 of 7, grab a few rebounds, and play like a crucial part of being like a shooter for this team. And this is a guy who was thrown in the trade to Philadelphia with James Harden, and he's scoring like 7 points, 3 rebounds a night for Philly, and then he was traded around as a cap casualty to the Spurs to the salary filler, and then they bought him out, and now he lands over here on a two-way and is showing immediate impact. I'm not a two-way, on a 10-day, my apology, as a immediate impact guy who, if he continues to play like this, everybody knows that for a while now, the two things that the Cavs have looked for since they got Donovan Mitchell is three-point shooting and more size at the wing position. And the cool thing about Marcus Morris is, as he's gotten older, he's more of a 4, but he is technically a combo forward, a guy who could play the 3 and the floor, or 3 and the 4 can play. Him being over here, 6'8", 218, got size, out of KU, we went to the same college. For me, I really do think this was a good signing, as you're getting a guy who is a career 37% three-point shooter, career almost 44% from the field. So I think you're just putting yourself out of position when you're with a guy like Marcus Morris, just taking a 10-day contract, which they signed him literally to, yesterday, whatever it was. I think it might have been yesterday they signed him. And he's showing up and being a guy who can help. Because Isaac Okoro, Dean Wade, George Niang, Karis LeVert are their current wing rotation. And I think the wing rotation, and Max Strus as well, my apology, is their typical wing rotation this season. I guess you could throw in Sam Merrill, who's kind of a swingman, into there. And it's worked. It's worked, but I think having a guy like Marcus Morris, you'd be the vet. Now you have a plethora of guys that you can use, and obviously you can't play every single one of them every single game. But it gives you guys that you can test out. One might get hot for a few games. The other one might get hot, and one might get cold. And Marcus gives you this thickness that, he gives you versatility that he can play the 4. I wouldn't never play him at the 5, but you can play him next to Jared Allen or Evan Mobley. You can play him next to Strus and Evan Mobley or Allen. And he fits well at the 4 next to a lot of guys. Now, if you wanted to go big with Mobley, Allen, and Morris, you can have some real big size then, which would help make up for the lack of size of Mitchell and Garland. Where, for me, that makes complete sense. And I think having him on this 10-day gives him a good chance to take a good, long, hard look at him and see if he can be really somebody that they want to have for the rest of the season, especially being this close to the playoffs. I think it's huge for a Cavaliers squad that we would probably say that are the dark horse team to make the conference finals. If we're just going to say that the Boston Celtics are the default favorites to make it there, I just think having Marcus Morris allows you to take an honest shot at being a team that can be similar. You remember the Dallas Mavericks from a few seasons ago when they went on that whole deep run? I think obviously health is the big concern here. The Cavs, part of the reason why they've been so good is because how deep they are and how they've been able to adapt to not having Garland and Mobley for periods of time. Likewise, they haven't had Mitchell for periods of time. And same thing, I feel like Allen's been there for most of the year. I feel like Allen's missed the least amount of time. So, and Strus has missed time. So for them, they've flexed their depth. Obviously now, to have the success that I'm alluding to, they need to get healthy. But adding a guy like Marcus Morris, at this point in his career, okay, what are you getting with him? Even if he on the Sixers, which was a competitive team, he was only playing 17 minutes a night, okay? It was nothing crazy. But what is Marcus going to give you as a 33, 34-year-old who I would say is still capable of running with players at his position and is not like, I don't think he looks out of shape or gas, or obviously he's not the guy he once was. He's lost half a step, but I think he can go out there and still be a tough player to face on both ends with his physicality. I think he's shown he can still be an efficient three-point shooter. The guy's historically deadly from the corner. Like, put him in the corner, he's going to hit him. And the other thing is, when you get to playoff basketball, you need someone who's going to be able to hit tough mid-range jumpers from the post. And he likes being this tireless defender who takes on like the enforcer role. And obviously he's not that fourth or third level scorer or option that he once was, but he's still a versatile combo forward. And I think he's shown that he's more composed. Obviously, he's never been great at finishing at the rim. That's never been his game. But I think the shooting ability that he provides for a team like Cleveland is so valuable. Now, obviously, this is the first game. Like, watching the next game, we might not get minutes. But what we just saw in a flash in one game is so important because I think it gives us foreshadowing to the flexibility it would give them off the bench in terms of their shot creation. So for me, I'm all for it. I think it's great. I think it's smart. I think it was a good addition. And that's where I want to hear your guys' opinions in the comment section. If you guys have made it this far to the end of the video, what do you think of Marcus Morris Sr. in his first game as a Cleveland Cavaliers? The new Cav looked good, and I think he's going to be fine. So hit that like and subscribe button. Bye.